Well, it's winter. This is great. We're up in Algonquin Park. Thankfully, there is snow on the ground. Thankfully, it's snowing right now. It was rain on the way up, but they're expecting snow up here, so that's good for us. We are just packing up and heading in. We're going to be trying a few things a little different this trip, so it's going to be fun. I'll get to that later. It's amazing how often the stuff that needs to go in your sled first is also the stuff that gets in the car first and is underneath everything. So you got to pull out everything to pack your sled. The same will happen when we pack up. The stuff that's at the bottom needs to go in the car first. But anyway, that's just the way it is. So we're about to head out. It's exciting.
It's already beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. Good to be back out here pulling a toboggan full of gear in the snow. We're just trying to figure out if this is where we want to camp. I think this may be where we camped before. It's always hard to tell first thing in the winter to remember where it was you had camped. I'm not sure if it's up this or a little further. I'm not totally sure. Just gonna scout it out and see. No, you sure that far? I thought it was up in there. So it's definitely up there because there was an open spot where you could kind of sometimes see people going by just before our track in. So I think our track would be just back there. The other thing is, the last time we were here was just before they closed the parks due to COVID, like literally a day before. And I had planned on coming back and we had left some wood behind. What are the odds that it might still be there? I did bring snowshoes, left them in the car. Thankfully it's not too deep yet. Yes, this is it. Tim had his tent just back there last time. We had a campfire just here, and I had my tent style tent in that gap over there. So we found it. Well, we're pretty well set up. We've set up a tarp, so we have a place to sit out of the what's supposed to be snow, but turns out it's more like sleet mixed with freezing rain, mixed with rain. It's not the snow we were expecting. But set up the tarp, set up a tent, and I'm excited to be setting up my new wood stove. I've got a kni-co Trekker, I believe is what it is. It's made by kni-co anyway. It's the smallest one. Not using it in a hot tent. We're going to use it underneath the tarp, mostly for cooking. Hopefully it gives us a bit of warmth under there too. But it's going to be fun trying that out. So it's actually quite miserable out here. It's kind of raining, it's more like sleet, I guess. It's wet, ice pellety things. We've just been cutting up some wood. I'm actually gonna light my stove for the very first time. You're supposed to, when you light a new stove, burn it in. Do it outside, not in a hot tent. It apparently gives off a lot of fumes. So we are outside. We're under a tarp, but we are outside. So I'm going to light it right now while we're still cutting up the wood, so we don't need to be right near it and smell all the fumes. But it's going to be interesting seeing my stove go for the first time. So we're lighting a fire starter. Most of the wood we've got, unfortunately, is quite wet. So, well, and my lighter, of course, does not want to light. Oh, for crying out loud. When you're burning it in, it'll change from the nice silver, beautiful, shiny silver color to more black color. That's what it's doing right now. Well, these ice pellets seem to turn to rain. Actual rain. And that really sucks. We were supposed to have just snow. We were supposed to have about 25 to 30 centimeters of snow today, which would have been amazing. This is not that nice. It's very unpleasant. So the weather today changed a lot. Right now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just in my tent, obviously, trying to sleep. But the weather today changed an awful lot. It was supposed to be cold. We were supposed to get a lot of snow. Well, that changed. It's above zero. So we have got a lot of rain. And it is just soaking everything. Right now, my tent is getting pounded by snow melting and falling off the trees above. I have a candle lantern going in here, and one of the pounds of snow was enough to knock that and put it out. Yeah, so it's not that pleasant. I mean, it's warm. I'm not cold, but I'm gonna be cold because it's wet, and everything is getting so damp inside here, and it's not gonna dry. So yeah, I had to get out because we had a tarp up, and when I got out, it was almost on the ground, stretched down because of the water gathered in it. So got about 5 hours until it's light. And figure out what the heck we're gonna do. Yeah. That was a rough night. It was very wet all night long. I was getting pounded by falling snow. At least about, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, it got colder. So that meant any precipitation is now snow, which is way better. Oh my God. But problem is everything that was wet was not dried at all. So not a big deal. I've got this other winter coat on, which is nice. If we go hiking, it might be a little bit warm, but couldn't really get a fire going. So we're just going for a hike. It's about -7 right now. It's windy out here in the airfield. Don't know if you can hear me over the wind, but if you can, we've decided to hike through the airfield, and we're heading back towards where the car is. Tim's hip seems to be bothering him as we're walking in the snow, so instead of going for a long hike, we're going to just hike through the airfield and then take a drive up to the visitor center, maybe do the Spruce Bog boardwalk as well, because that's a nice easy one. Well, we decided we would come to the visitor center, and while we're here, might as well do our walk around of the museum. Look at that. was a nice little walk around the visitor center, and now we've stopped at the Spruce Bog Boardwalk to do a little hike around this. It's about a 1K trail, so. Well, I didn't film the takedown of the tarp. I was taking the tarp down because it's not going to be snowing or very little. And it's covered in ice from the rain last night. And we didn't need it up. It was just sagging down. But what you haven't seen is the struggle to get it down. I'm still struggling because all the knots got wet in the rain and were frozen solid. Now, I managed to get most of them undone. There's a few, though, on this line right here, which I cannot get untied. They are frozen solid. So it may be pouring hot water on that and acting quick before they freeze again to untie them, or it might mean cutting the rope. I'm not sure what the deal's going to be yet. All right, so we are just going for a little hike at night, which is always fun. Problem is right now I am using the light on the camera to film me, and I can't see where I'm going because I'm blinded. But yeah, trust me, we're on a nice night hike. Too dark for you to see anything, so sorry. We are at the waterfall. I got some pictures of it, so you'll be able to see those. You won't be able to see anything on video. It's just cool being out here. It's awesome. Well, we made it back from our hike. We've got a nice campfire going, so just sitting around that. And then I think I'm heading to bed. It's another long, dark night in December. I'm up. I'm just going to very slowly start packing things away. It's a cool morning. Thought I heard a little bit of snow or possibly a little bit of rain earlier, but it's fine now. So I'm going to start slowly packing up. We've had the gray jays come and visit us already this morning. It's great. Anyway, short first trip of the winter, but despite the rain the first day, it was still pretty good.